Good morning. How are we doing? It is 30th of May. Hope we're having a lovely bank holiday weekend. If you're watching live, give me a hello. If you're watching on replay of a hangover, give me a replay in the joking. If you give me a replay in the comments, let me know if you're in. So I wanted to talk today essentially about yesterday I had a little bit of a DIY day / cleaning day at our morning. Nikki, how are you doing? At our deviser studio. A few things that need to be done, sort the boxing, punch bags out, deep clean as always, a few things with the mats, a little bit more painting, all sorts of little fans, soap dispenser, don't ask. Wow, the automatic soap dispenser didn't work because it was underneath a white tap, so the colour, you couldn't recognise it. You took it off the stand and it would work on my hand. Put it back, wouldn't work. It was like one of those, it was like I was expecting to be on a reality TV show. Someone would come in, way, like one of those sketch shows, one of those setup shows. I was like frustrated. Anyway, morning, Caroline. So my point though is I hate doing that stuff. Absolutely hate it. And it's necessary to do what we do, and we get to help people. We get never really work a day because it's Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. You gotta be. If I didn't like what I was doing, I wouldn't be on. I wouldn't be on now at 7:20, talking to you. And my point in this though is sometimes we do have to do things that aren't ideal, that we don't love, but to get to do the things that we love. And although they seem like a bit of a nuisance, a bit like, I can't be asked to do it, I don't really want to do it, because let's face it, I didn't go to university, didn't get into this to clean, to do some painting on the wall. And yes, we did get other people to do most of it. Not yesterday, like the initial setup of it. I'd have been there all day. But the top-ups, the things like we did yesterday, you have to just do them. You have to kind of get it. And I want to talk today about the stages of change, because whenever I go and do something that I don't like doing, although I often procrastinate, which is for another day, once I've done it, I either learn something new, or, morning Sarah, or I actually overcome some kind of fear of something, which is probably the reason why I was procrastinating on it. So you could argue that I didn't like it because I wasn't sure whether I was going to do it right. Because I wasn't sure I was going to do it right or perfect, I just put it off. Because short term, that gives me a sense of pleasure that I won't do something wrong. But the truth is, I'm not doing anything right. So that disconnect gets bigger and it gets harder and harder to do. Very similar to public speaking. It's crazy to think even 10 years ago would not be public speaking at all. Crazy. Anyway, I would do anything. I would have actually done anything to avoid it within reason, but pretty much anything. So I want to talk about these stages now. I'm going to get the pen and paper out. Hopefully you can read my writing. Hopefully. Anyway, so stages of change. Like when we're kind of where we are in our comfort zone. You've probably heard of that before. We're in our comfort zone and we feel, quote unquote, comfortable. When we go and change a habit, so we want to change a habit, we want to try something new, it is exciting and we get excited. But at the same time, this can bring out something called fear. And now we're in kind of the fear zone. And when you come into the fear zone, because we're outside of our comfort zone, our brain will often look for reasons why we can't do it. Could be too tired, not enough time, am I fit enough? Could be anything. I haven't got the confidence, do it later. But all these reasons, when we look for reasons why we can't, remember our brain loves to be right. It doesn't compromise much. If you're looking for a reason why you can't do it, you'll find a reason. Your brain loves to be right. The problem is, though, is that confidence loves, oh, this is like a kid's, if you're listening, you won't understand this, but I'm about to try and draw a love heart. Look at that. Oh, that's really bad, isn't it? Confidence loves evidence, okay? So confidence loves evidence. Evidence comes from doing. I won't be teaching my kids to write, don't worry. Evidence comes from doing. It's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? So we've got to do to build that confidence up. But in your fear zone, when you're aware of this, okay, I'm going to get a little bit of fear when I'm changing this. Will I be the only one there? Will I be able to get to a gym? Is it going to be intimidating? And that's why we do our utmost best. Morning, Jane. Morning, Sandra. To make people not feel intimidated when they come into our studio. We like to feel differently. Because when you get through that, if we can get you through this bit, this is my massive aim, because this does frustrate me. Because if we can get through this, then you get that acceptance that it will be hard, the acceptance zone, that there will be a challenge, because everything is challenging, right? Everything is challenging. Like, everything is challenging, whether you choose the challenge or not. So you can either do nothing and there'll be a challenge, because there's a reason why we're interested in getting fit, healthier, want to lose weight, want to get stronger, whatever it is. That's a challenge in itself. Not being those things, not having energy is a challenge. Or we can choose the challenge. Okay, I'm going to embrace that acceptance of that fear zone where, it will be something new. And I can go back to, I haven't been to that many because of COVID, but I went to jiu-jitsu for a little bit before COVID. And I was able to experience what it must be like to come to a gym, a studio, a new session, because people have been there for a long time. But, in my head, I build it up to something that it's completely not. You go, and then you're like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and then you're in. Then you're good to go. You would like to think, anyway. Obviously, that's a small place like what we do. I get it. I haven't been to a big gym in actually years, so I couldn't actually tell you what they're like right now. However, when you reach that acceptance zone, there's going to be challenges. You're able to choose the challenge. Because when you get through that and you know that, okay, there will be a challenge, but I've got a choice. When you have a choice, you're in control. We love control. Our brain loves control. Once you choose the challenge, you've got a choice. Once you choose which way you're going to go, then you can go into the fulfillment zone. And in this zone, this is where you just kind of get in with it. You're able to overcome that fear, which wasn't really a fear. It was more in our head most of the time. It's never as bad as it seems. We're able to overcome that and do it, and then go in that cycle of doing builds confidence, which is then that evidence providing that you need to build that confidence. So it's like confidence loves evidence, but to get evidence of that, you have to do something. That's why you need to make those steps as small as possible. And I'll give you an example here. One of the ladies was going to struggle to get up early, come to sessions, but that's the only time she could come to session. So we started off, okay, just get up 10 minutes earlier and do this workout from home. Just getting into the habit of it. She did that for a few weeks, and all of a sudden she started to build it up into her routine, and she came to a session. Wasn't as bad as she thought, as we planned. Now she just comes to sessions like it's nothing else. She wasn't even going to come to any sessions, but I said, it might be good to come to one, or, do them from home, but, know you've got the option. All of a sudden now, fast forward, and she comes to more sessions than she does from home. And that's due to her perception that she maybe wouldn't have time, maybe didn't have the confidence to do it, maybe wasn't fit enough. And my point here is, what could be different if you just accepted that, they're normal stages. It's not necessarily self-sabotage. It's not necessarily imposter syndrome or anything like that. It could just be that, we're actually just making a change to a habit that we've done for a long time, or we have a belief that something is fear, something around that, we have fear around that. And actually, that's just a normal part of change. And actually going through that is the easiest way out of it, because it's challenging now. So we might as well choose the challenge that will provide us with the result that we want. Anyway, I hope that helps this morning. Just a quick one on Sunday morning. Hope you're having a good bank holiday weekend. Any questions, as always, do let me know. And I will see you soon. Busy day today, catching up on a few things actually. But we'll be getting outside because it's looking like summer is here. So have an awesome day and I will see you soon. Let me know in the comments your biggest take home from that. I hope I've made you think about something today. Good morning, Joss. How are we doing? And I'll see you soon. Take care.